They saved the world 1,000 times, but nothing could save them. This is the day the Avengers fell, and the hunger rose. This is the story of Marvel's zombies. Reed Richards was doing what he always did, reaching further than anyone else. He received a transmission from a future Reed, wiser, more experienced, promising answers, breakthroughs, hope. They exchanged coordinates. Reed built a portal. The Fantastic Four prepared for first contact. When the gate opened, they saw familiar silhouettes. Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man. Only the eyes betrayed the truth, dead, hungry. Reed thought he was opening the door to a brighter future. In reality, he opened a passage to Earth, 2149, a world already finished. On this Earth, the virus consumed the globe. It wasn't slow, it was lightning. It spread through bites, scratches, in seconds. It didn't take away memories. It didn't take away powers. It only stripped away morality. The infected remembered who they were. They remembered what they had done. But hunger never let them stop. That's what Reed unleashed. Not knowledge, but a path to fresh meat. A new universe, ours. On Earth 2149, one man tried to stop it. Magneto, master of magnetism, one of the last defender of humanity. He understood that if the Horde crossed over, no universe would survive. He knew he couldn't save his own world, but he could save another. He tore the portal apart, turned metal against itself, and triggered an explosion that sealed the gateway. Reed escaped. Magneto did not. He died not as an enemy of the X-Men, not as a terrorist, but as a hero who gave everything to stop the plague. The ultimate Earth was spared. But we, the readers, saw something else. A world where the Avengers still lived, but only as monsters. How did it all begin? With a golden flash in the sky, Sentry, the most powerful hero, the first carrier. One bite led to another and another, an avalanche. The Avengers faced it, and fell just as quickly. Nick Fury tried to lead the war, barricades, quarantines, strike teams, but the infection moved faster than orders. Every fallen hero instantly became an enemy. Thor stopped protecting and started killing. Spider-Man stopped saving and dragged victims in. Wolverine stopped defending and tore through flesh. The worst part, they weren't mindless. Spider-Man felt guilt the moment he was bitten. He ran home, desperate to protect Aunt May and Mary Jane. He swore he'd keep them safe. But hunger always wins, one bite, then another. Peter knew what he was doing. He knew who he was killing, and he couldn't stop. That moment broke him forever. From then on, every infected carried two things: the memory of who they once were, and the horror of what they had just done. The X-Men died holding lines that had once been routine. The Fantastic Four crumbled as the infection tore through their family. Magneto built enclaves of survivors, but every wall fell the same way. Another bite, another death. The lesson of Dead Days was simple. Could it have been stopped? No. At this speed, with this power, collapse was inevitable. From the first day, Earth 2149 was lost. What came after wasn't survival, it was feeding. By the time the main Marvel Zombies series begins, cities are corpses. No radio, no armies, no prayers, only bodies and hunger. Colonel America, Skull split, brain exposed, still leading. Iron Man, an empty suit powered only by hunger. Hulk, eats, reverts to Bruce, feels shame, gets angry, eats again. Spider-Man, sobs, apologizes, then strikes once more. This wasn't a story of zombies losing their minds. It was a story of fallen heroes who remembered everything. The darkest chapter came from Hank Pym. He found a solution, keeping T'Challa alive, the Black Panther, and slicing pieces of him off. Sterile wounds, no infection, a constant supply of meat. Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, discovered the truth. She threatened to expose him. Hank silenced her his way. He cut off her head. She lived, and she watched. Meanwhile, Magneto stood on a rooftop, fighting the Horde with every ounce of power left. He bought minutes, not victories. And in the end, he was ripped apart by those he once called heroes. Hunger had limits, until a silver streak appeared in the sky. The Silver Surfer, herald of Galactus. His message was always the same. Galactus is coming. For the living, it was a death sentence. For the infected, it was a feast. Surfer struck first. The power cosmic carved through hordes like paper. Hundreds turned to ash. But these weren't ordinary enemies. They were former heroes. They knew how to fight together. Thor swung his hammer. Iron Man unleashed missiles. Spider-Man and Wolverine leapt at the Herald. And then Hulk made history. He grabbed the Surfer and bit off his head. The body fell, and hunger won. They devoured him, every last piece. Those who tasted his power changed, eyes glowing with cosmic fire, wounds healing instantly, bodies flying without machines. All became not just monsters, but gods. And that was the signal. Earth had nothing left to give, but the feast had only just begun. Out there, in the void, his master felt it. Galactus was coming. Galactus arrived to consume a planet. He found one that had already consumed itself. Others would flee. The zombie Avengers stood their ground. At first, they were ants before a god. Galactus burned city blocks with a gesture. But those who fed on the Surfer rose again and again. They fought like a team, beams, hammers, strength, armor. Galactus staggered, and then hunger overwhelmed reason. The zombies turned on each other, fighting for the first bite of the cosmic god. Friends, teammates, former allies, all tearing at each other in a frenzy. Finally, united by desperation, they struck together, and Galactus fell, ripped apart, devoured piece by piece. The god of the universe, eaten by his own heralds. Those who fed became more than gods. Blood dripped from their mouths, mixed with the power cosmic. They no longer needed planes, rockets, or weapons. They were living divine weapons. They looked to the stars and saw not one world, but billions. Galactus had hungered for planets, but they hungered for the cosmos itself. And so a new horde was born. Not zombie Avengers, not heroes, but cosmic predators devouring world after world. This was Marvel Zombies. Not a cure, not redemption, just hunger, forever. Subscribe if you dare to see what comes next.